I'm Krista Shirley, and today we're moving on in our Yoga Asana series to look at Maricyasana B. This is a pose dedicated to the sage Marici. Last week we looked at Maricyasana A, and the full expression of Maricyasana A. You're folded forward with your shoulders squeezed back, your forehead or your chin is on your shin, and you're grounded through your right foot. With Maricyasana B, similar to A in the bind of the hands, but very different in the legs. At this point, if you've gotten enough flexibility to go into a half lotus or a lotus posture, then you will be able to do this pose easily if you've mastered Maricyasana A. Maricyasana B, you want to work to bring your right foot into your inner left thigh. Now, if you have been working on Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana in the primary series, one of the first seated postures we've been looking at, then you've been working to open your hip to get into this posture. So remember, that expression is this. If you can easily do Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana, you should be able to really work into Maricyasana B. So let's quickly look at the full expression, and then we're going to deconstruct it today to help you kind of understand in bite-sized pieces how in the world someone can get into Maricyasana B. It's possible. You must be consistent. But that diligence, that pays off over time. You open your hips, you open your knees, you open your body safely, and then you can balance. This is important, to find balance in your gravity through weight bearing in space on all different planes of movement. Once you find that, you can do anything in the practice. It's really cool. So if you can do this, then the full expression is just the bind of A, and you would fold forward. Now look at my shoulders here. You really got to work. If you find that this is hard for you and you're really rounded forward, your work is to open that back. Your work is to really open your chest, really engage the muscles of your back, your rhomboids and your trapezius. Pull those shoulder blade muscles together, and it helps to open the front of your body. So this is our full expression of the posture. And here you would rest for 5 deep breaths. Ideally, your right hand is grabbing your wrist of your left arm, and you're engaging these back muscles. You're squeezing your inner thighs, you're balancing on your right foot, and you're extending through your neck to bring your chin towards the floor. After 5 deep breaths, you'll inhale, lengthen your spine, exhale, release, and take your vinyasa. Now, how do we deconstruct from there to begin as a brand new student finding their way safely into Maricyasana B? If you have a capable, able body and you rush through poses, you're gonna get some benefit, absolutely, but you're missing the magic. You're missing the magic of the body opening, and not just being able to get that pose, but being able to get any pose, be able to do anything. There's a big difference. And so if you're interested, if you're hungry for that, then I really encourage you to start at the beginning of the variations we're going to look at today in this posture, and be mindful of them and put time and energy into them, and then you'll be able to move on to the next variation. The next variation, before you know it, you'll very easily be able to make yourself bound up in Maricyasana B, which is a beautiful pose. It feels wonderful, and it's good for the digestive system. You're putting really nice soft pressure on your body, and it helps you begin to, again, get a deeper engagement and intimate awareness of this idea of oppositions of force, and how when I squeeze my own inner thigh with my own muscles, I can really control the engagement or contraction of these limbs in a body's way of saying, I can do this naturally. I'm not forcing it. I'm not shoving it. And that is one thing that, as we look through the different modifications, don't try to force or shove your body in these poses, because they'll shove right back. It's a journey. Don't rush the process. Enjoy it. So let's look at some options. Starting from you have half lotus. We're not going to really address how to get half lotus today, because that's explored in Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. So dig back in through the videos in the primary series, and I'll put it in the link below for you, how you can learn to get into half lotus. So we've already gotten there. This is okay for us. Now remember though, never want to have the foot past the hip when we're working our body into half lotus, because this puts a lot of undue pressure on the knee. So we don't want to ever go there. So if you've gotten into full half lotus, and if you remember through Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana, really think about lengthening through here So you get to here, maybe this is your variation for a while. Once you can get to this variation, really work again like we did in A to find some balance. And now you're balancing on your left butt cheek, on your left sits bone. It's important though, guys, that you don't let that knee drift out into space. Use the engagement of your hamstrings to pull your leg in, ground onto your foot, and then I want to see you here for a little while. When you know you can control this knee, and what I mean by control this knee is it won't slide around. When you are on that leg and you are grounded through that quadricep, you're grounded through your right foot, and you can really hang out here, then we're taking the same bind as we did with Maricyasana A. Really lengthen through your arms, squeezing your back muscles, and then you can take your left arm behind you. Maybe you find your fingers in the beginning, that's okay, but your goal is to squeeze your back muscles and open your chest, squeeze your thighs, ground through your right foot, lengthen through your spine, extend out through your neck, and really hold your body in space and breathe while you hold and engage your body in space and control your body. Eventually you can bind your right hand around your left wrist as we did in Maricyasana A. Same active engagement through your spine, your shoulders, your back, grounding through your right foot, squeezing your inner left thigh, and I'm still flexing my left foot every step of the way. Remember, if you can't quite do this, those don't apply to you, but I want to show you what does apply to you. So your option here is to bring your left leg over your right quadricep, right behind your right knee, right on top of your quadricep. And it's important that you flex your foot. You don't want dorsiflexion, strong dorsiflexion of your toe pad. Try to relax the toe pad as much as you can and really flex through your foot. Make sure that your knee is in line with your ankle. You can bring your hands behind you. And I want you to train your hamstring and your glute and your back and many other muscles in your body to activate together to drag your foot up. Now, I'm not digging my leg in and dragging my mat up. What I'm doing is very gently, proprioceptively, dragging my heel but engaging my hamstring. Now look, my butt is not lifted, so this whole time my glutes are grounded down, ground through your foot, and then sit up tall. You might find this to be an incredible challenge. You want to make sure, however, that you're not feeling any pain in your left knee, no discomfort or pain in your left knee. This should be a stretch, a deep stretch through your left hip, perhaps into your left hamstring. Maybe you're feeling it through your lats or your chest a little bit. Make sure you flex your left foot. Really push through your hands. It's almost like you're doing a tricep press. Really push down to lift your chest forward. Very gently lift your chin up and continue to focus on your deep, deep, steady breaths. In from your throat through your nose, out from your throat through your nose. It's an incredible, incredible variation for your body. And when you finish your 5 breaths, you're gonna flex your foot and again, very gently stretch or drag your leg down. Release that left leg and take your vinyasa.
Be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video for a very special discount code off of Nysa's 16 and 32 ounce Ohm glass water bottles.
Looking at our left side for Maricyasana B, we've got lots of different variations to choose from. Let's choose mindfully. Now I want to look at that very first modification if this is a challenging posture for you because of half lotus. We just looked at it from our right side. Now we're going to look at it from our left side. You're going to bring your right foot over your left quadricep. You're flexing through your right foot, trying not to actively dorsiflex, but just relax your toe pads. Bring your hands behind you and you're gently going to draw your heel to get your foot down. Now, you may find that you're barely bending your knee. That's okay. If you're feeling a very intense stretch here, don't force it. Lengthen through it by really grounding through your tailbone, grounding through your sits bones. Lift your chest and torso. Your chin is slightly lifted. Breathe in through your body. If this is okay for you, you can start to find where your limits are for where you can maintain extension through your spine. You don't want to be rounded in this pose and look like this. I would rather you be way back here, but really sitting tall than way forward and rounded. You want to control your torso, that's important. And don't let your foot get soft. You want to flex your foot and keep your breath in your chest steady. If this is your version or variation for today, you're gonna then gently release the posture by relaxing your back, relaxing your hands, stretching your left leg out in front of you, then releasing your right leg if you need to stretch the legs out for a second, and then you would take your vinyasa. Remember that your right side comes first, and with these Maricyasanas, it can be confusing for students first learning this pose. You're not alone if you do this. We're like, wait a minute, both the legs are doing something. Which one goes first? A, B, C, and D, right knee bends up first. This is right side of Maricyasana B, and now we're looking at left side. We're bringing our right foot into half lotus. We're gonna bend the left knee up. Always find a place of balance as you begin this posture. Every step of the pose, it's important that you control the body movement through space. So if you're here and this is really a challenge, then stay here until it's not. Squeeze your inner thigh, push your hip down, lift out of your torso, ground through your left foot, lengthen your spine, lift your head. Find control there. And then the next variation is here. And this is a wonderful stretch through your back. Oh my goodness, it's really, really nice. And you're trying to actively squeeze your inner left thigh into your rib cage. You're trying to really ground your hands to the floor so you can work on your lats. Use your fingertips, ground that hand and pull back. And your lats have turned on, the front of the body is active, the back of the body is stretching. But it's also engaging the front of the body, which is pulling us down, which is further stretching. Keep squeezing your inner left thigh and work with gravity. And then when you feel in control of that movement, you find your breath. Do 5 deep inhales and exhales from your throat through your nose here. Keep squeezing your inner right thigh. Keep squeezing your left leg towards your rib cage. Pressing your hands down into the floor. Breathing through your nose. Squeezing Mula Bandha. After 5 breaths, take your vinyasa. If you want to look at another variation, the full expression. It's this beautiful pose of Maricyasana B. So getting ourselves grounded in ready position with our hips, our feet, control of weight through space, or to wrap your left arm around your body, find your fingers or find your wrist, squeeze your back muscles, keep your chest open. Remember not to round through your right shoulder, and then try to lengthen your torso forward and downward towards the floor. Keep lifting and lengthening out through your right shoulder to open the chest and engage the back of the body. And 5 deep breaths here, working to bring your forehead to the floor. On your inhale, you'll lengthen your spine. Exhale, you're gonna gently release the leg and then take your vinyasa.
Step back, lower down into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, press back into down dog, and then step or hop or jump through and have a seat on the floor.
So I'm curious to know what you think about Maricyasana B. With Ashtanga Yoga, if you really are following the formula, the practice of the primary series, posture by posture, I really do think that this is the place where a lot of people kind of start to question the practice or them being able to do the practice, that they're capable. I'm a real firm believer that anybody can eventually get into half lotus posture and do it safely. You need to respect the body. The knees are so fragile, and if your hips are really, really, really tight or your back is really tight, your knees are always going to be the weakest link in your body in that regard, with the lower body, your shoulders with the upper body. So no matter what, we have these things that we have to be very mindful of. I always encourage people to be protective of the knee. Spend more time dedicated to opening and creating a grounded foundation through your pelvis or through your body in whatever posture that you're in. And you'll find you are absolutely capable of it. I assure you, even if you've been a runner your whole life, or you're just a very, very tight, inflexible person, when you follow the prescription for this practice, you will see your body change. And then one day you're like, wow, this is awesome. So keep showing up and keep doing the work. And I want to thank you for spending time with me today. I teach classes locally in Winter Park, and I would love for you to join me for a class or a workshop somewhere I am around the country, around the world. Check out olotita.com. If you want to see more about the services I offer both virtually, in person, nationally, and internationally. You want to make sure that you stay hydrated before and after your yoga practice. Try hard not to drink water during practice if you can help it, but if you are new, and especially if you're pregnant, absolutely take water during practice if you need to. We create a lot of heat, a lot of Agni, fire, inside the body when we create our asana movements. We try to hold that heat in as we continue to move through our practice. And it's when we finish our rest that we enjoy wonderful hydration of water. If you want to get your own glass water bottle, you can head over to olotita.com/Nysa, where you'll find all of our unique products, including our 32 and 16 ounce glass water bottles. We highly recommend using glass to avoid the chemicals that come with using plastic products. I hope you have a gorgeous rest of your day ahead, and I'll see you here next week. Namaste.